great win for us against a very, very good Cincinnati team. I thought defensively, both teams are very good defensively. I thought we did a great job defensively. I thought Cincinnati did a great job defensively. I thought it was two very good teams going at it, and we were fortunate to get the win. Thought we played well. Very proud of our young men. Also, I thought our crowd was great. Really helped give us a good lift as well too. I thought our crowd was great, and you know, I thought everyone who played contributed, and even the guys who didn't play. You know, we've had a great team with our guys, just with great attitudes, always keeping positive, not not taking anything away from their teammates, and so I'm really proud of these young men, and you know, we're getting better, we're improving, but as I said many times, there's going to be some highs and lows throughout the way, some peaks and valleys, and you know, we've had some valleys and we've had some lows and we've had some highs as well, so hoping we can continue to get some more highs, and we just got to keep getting better. But in a year where it's considering what we lost last year, as I've said, this is going to be a transitional year, so there's going to be bumps. And but tonight, our guys played well and played well enough to get the W. So really proud of our young men.
Coach, I think this is the kind of team that most people have said you've struggled against throughout your careers. Kind of that tough, grind-out team. Is it kind of getting over a mental bump tonight, just to kind of knock Cincinnati off?
You know, Grant, I thought we did a good job defensively, and you know, to be able to beat a team, we're going to have to make some threes, and we made some shots. And I've been saying that, you know, you're at teams like that, you're going to have to make some threes. Avery really helped loosen some things up for us by making those threes. I mean, Austin Nichols again was terrific, but and I thought Calvin Godfrey's energy, his toughness was infectious. His warrior-like mentality was infectious throughout the whole team, so I was really proud of Calvin on that. And so, you know, Cincinnati's not a good but a great defensive team, and you're going to have to make some shots in order to beat them. And you know, we were fortunate to make some threes, which opened some things up for us. But we were also very good defensively too.
Well, could you talk about what Keitron's given you the last few games and how much it seems to open things up offensively? He knows what guys' spots are.
Yeah, no, Keitron's he's played well. He's played well. You know, I think part of it, Jason, is I think he's getting to a little more of a rhythm, and just, you know, through time, he's. What I'm really proud of, he's kept a good attitude. He hasn't sat and sulked and felt sorry for himself and, you know, played the blame game or anything like that. He's kept a good attitude and has done his job, and he stayed ready. He stayed ready, and so when he got his number called, he's taken advantage of it. And it's, you know, for him, it's not easy. Think about early in the year and some of the struggles, and then, you know, didn't play a lot, not because of discipline, just coach's decision not to put him in, and that's not easy for a guy who was all league at the SEC. So you got to give him a lot of credit for him to be able to handle that the right way. He's handled it like a professional, and I'm very proud of him.
Josh, what did you guys do to frustrate Ellis? It's obviously you're playing back at home. There's a lot of pressure for him, but you guys took him out of this game.
Greg, I don't think we did anything special. I mean, Octavius is a really good player, very, very talented. You know, he's a high-level guy. I just think defensively all year long we've been pretty good. I mean, besides a couple, you know, a half here, a half there, we've been really good defensively. Our issues have been scoring and turnovers. That's been our issue, and we've been a very good defensive team. And tonight, you know, we had 10 turnovers. Obviously, the 11th one was on me. But that, and then, you know, versus Houston, versus SMU, we've kept it into the 10, 11 turnover range. So we're getting better in that area of taking care of the ball. It's like some of our times where we've struggled, it hasn't been our half-court defense. It's been our turnovers in live ball situations where teams have been able to get in a live ball and go score. And you look at the stats, they got 24 points off of our turnovers. That's what happened to Tulane. They had 24 points off of our live ball turnovers. And you look at some of our losses, that's where teams really, really hurt us, was those live ball turnovers. So we have been very good in the half-court defense, but we have to allow ourselves to get set up in the half-court defense. And that's one, by scoring, two, by taking a good shot, obviously getting back in transition, but not having those live ball turnovers. And we did a really good job tonight, man.
Coach, everyone, it seems, from Kedron to Shaq to Austin, has stayed positive through the peaks and valleys that you mentioned. What has enabled this collective group to kind of stay together and stay so positive?
You know, just, you know, we got a good group of guys, and just something that's very important to me for a core value is I just don't want any negativity, and I won't allow negativity to infiltrate our program. I don't want it, and I don't want to be around it, and so our guys know that, and I'm proud of our guys, and it's not easy. Guys, every guy wants to play 40 minutes. Every guy wants to play every minute. I mean, that's just normal as players, but, and in a place like this where the intensity is such, and the coverage is so intense that, you know, there are no secrets with that if a guy gets a little upset here and there, but that's part of it. And so I'm really proud the guys have stayed positive, and it's not always an easy thing, but the guys have really rooted on for each other, and that's been an important thing for us.
Josh, earlier in the season you had talked about eventually you would need to prune your rotation a little bit, to trim it down. When you play like this against a good team and get, you know, perhaps your best win of the season, does a performance like this give you any hints about what you might want to do in terms of who plays more or less minutes?
No, I just think we're a team, Michael, that's a free-flowing team, that every game is its own entity, that we're going to be a team that, you know, that each game is its own deal. I mean, it's its own separate journey. Where Sunday versus Houston, you know, I rolled with Markel and Markel, Trayshawn, Keedron, Shaq, and Austin. Today I rolled with, you know, Austin, Calvin, Keedron, pretty much Trayshawn and Avery. So I just think each game's going to be its own entity, and you're just going to find the right combination. And whenever you find that combination, which I've always done through my 6 years here, if I feel a group is playing really well, I'm just going to go with the group. I don't sub. Now, unless a guy is just dead tired and needs a sub, or obviously a foul situation, but if I find a combination of 5 that's really playing well, I'll ride him out.
You mentioned Keedron keeping the good attitude, but what about from a confidence standpoint? Could you see the confidence starting to build and to come before a game like this? And he had a couple of, you know, bullet passes to Austin where he just seemed like really sure of everything he was doing.
I felt our practices, you know, part of the thing with Keedron, earlier in the year, we were you know, it didn't start off real well, and then we had that stretch where we didn't have a lot of practices, and we just had games, and that Christmas stretch right there, pre-Christmas, but we just had a lot of practices, and we didn't have a lot of opportunity for games, and Pookie took advantage of the opportunity. And Pookie's going to be a great player. I mean, a great player. But I could see once we got after Christmas and we started practicing, back to practicing, where we could practice more consecutive days and go up and down and compete, I saw that Keedron was getting better. And I had a really good gut feel. Just, you know, I put him in versus, I don't think I played him versus Houston really the first time, and then maybe a couple minutes, and then I don't think I put him in versus Tulane. And then he played 8 minutes or so versus SMU, but I felt as he was getting better in practice. And then we had 2 really good practices, and he really had good practices, and I felt comfortable enough to put him in versus Houston, and he took full advantage of it. But I have seen him get better via practice, and because we're having more opportunity to practice after Christmas, we were able to get a little more up and down.
I know they obviously turned over a lot, but 20 points to 10 on points off turnovers. I mean, you guys didn't capitalize on every single one, but it seemed like you got enough of them.
Yeah, you know, that's a big thing. We talked about it. We had to have a hit first mentality. You know, just being the aggressor, have a hit first mentality, but we also had to take care of the basketball. That was important for us, and you know, that's been some of our issues this year. When we've lost some games, is teams have hurt us in live ball turnovers. That stat was reversed. So tonight we did a good job of taking care of the ball, but we also capitalized on turnovers, and that allowed us to get some baskets along the way. But that's a credit to our defense. We have been very good defensively pretty much all year long.
It seemed like at the beginning you guys were kind of struggling with their press, and then you figured it out, and that kind of changed things offensively. Is that the way you saw it? Or?
Yeah, we had to make some adjustments on our press break, and then it ended up which is Robert Kirby deserves the credit for that because he came up with the adjustment. And,
the middle.
But the way our alignment and a couple other things, the credit goes to Robert Kirby because that was his adjustment, and he's the one that came up with the adjustment. So I thought we did a good job once we made the adjustment, but that's a credit to Robert Kirby.
A little more than 36 hours till your next one. Tell us a little bit about UCF.
You know, UCF, Donnie Jones does a great job. He's a great coach. Love Donnie. I think they've got a great team. You know, they got young guards who are really good. The Goodwin kid, I think he had like 30-something against Houston. I know they got the McBride. I obviously haven't watched film on him. I'll watch it when I get home tonight and do the wee hours in the morning and then tomorrow, and then put in the game plan. And so I don't really have a total idea because I need to watch film. But I do know they're very well coached. They've got a lot of good players, and I know we're going to have to play great if we want to win the game because it's a quick turnaround. It's 1 o'clock, so we're going to have to play great if we want to have a chance to win the game.
Josh, it's only, what, 4 or 5 games in the conference play, but is it as wide open as you thought it would be, the conference?
Yeah, I think it's as wide open as I thought. I thought it's for anyone's game. I said this when we were at the media day in New York, when we were up there at the table with Mr. Elmore up there, and I told them all, and the microphone came to me, and I said, I think the league is wide open. I don't think the predictions or the preseason rankings mean anything on the order finish of the league. I just think it's wide open, 1 through 11, and anybody can win it. I think considering what the teams of the teams that finished in the upper half last year, what they lost, us and Connecticut and Cincinnati and those type of teams. I mean, we lost a lot of senior good players. So I just felt it was going to be wide open, and it is wide open. I mean, Tulsa, and I told everybody I thought Tulsa was going to be really good. They had their whole team back who won Conference USA, the tournament, went to the tournament, and they had their entire team back. So, you know, and Frank Haith does an excellent job as well, too.
Last question.
Josh, you've obviously had a lot of changes in the rotation so far this year, but Austin has been solid to spectacular and kind of established himself as the go-to guy. How much has that helped settle things, and how comfortable do you sense he is now with that role?
I think he's very comfortable. I think he's embracing it. I think the improvement that he's made from last year to this year defensively, first of all, is just as good as an improvement as anyone's been in the country defensively. I said this last year, all teams did was just attack him. The whole game plan was, let's just go at Austin. This year, you can't keep him off, forget offense, you can't take him off the floor defensively. He's really improved, and his confidence has improved, and he's continued to get better and better and better, and he's a high-level guy.
Thanks, Coach.